Yeah, no, whoever else that you award him. Yeah, big goal. Right. Distance yeah, you guys have any idea of how long you tell or it has to be to give that. Oh, yeah. You have to rest right? Yeah, there's like no pressure. There's no pressure. So there's a lot of things. It's going to be all have a conference. It's only that's totally right. I'll do it. Oh no. No, I did not. Okay. You would have perfect. No. You don't need it wrong. I don't need it. Good. Yeah. Right. Oh, Phil, you want to get technology? That's for you. Plug it in. Oh, you don't have the picture. All right.
We're going to move it to a better spot. Let's figure this out. Let's do this. Let's come over here.
That is so cool.
Right? Just move. Oh, it does. No, we're good. I think I got it. Oh, that's gonna be perfect.
All right. In first order of business real quick, we have to do our voting for our Pride Award. Right? That was the survey today? Yeah. You guys already voted? I apologize for that. I don't know who tried, but I will figure that out and make sure I do that out to us as soon as I figure that out. So we'll hold that one off until we know why. Okay. Woo. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to add anything? So now I'm going to wait, were you born? Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, you were born in
I was cut off my.
Because it isn't in my time.
Yeah, I don't know if we're alive or not. All right, guys. So what we got? We got 7:32. We gotta get rolling. All right, in and out. Yeah, it's over there. Hey, all right. Hey, parents, can somebody comment if they can hear this okay? I want to make sure that we're good to go. Okay, they have a link. I hope it's working. You should find it. You guys want to go watch it. Matt, sweet, like, oh, we got a comment. Are we good? It's like, yep. All right, we're good. Great. All right. Let us begin. All right, well, guys, welcome. I'm glad that we could be here to do this tonight. And parents, thank you for changing your plans here very quickly on such a short notice. But it wouldn't be normal if we didn't have last minute changes, and anything is anything but normal this year. So, but of course, with the incredible year that we've had this year, we had to get together and recognize our talents, accomplishments, and our achievements, and make sure we send off our seniors, which is easily, without a doubt, one of our most historic classes we've ever had in this program. So, as we look at the season in general, I think quickly back to what I talked about to the boys prior to the start of the state meet, and how much of a bright spot this season was for us. It was incredibly different. It was challenging. It was demanding in many different ways. And yet, I felt like I enjoyed going to practice every single day. In a year where the world wants to do everything negative and tear us down, this was always a bright spot for me every single day. And I just only hope that all of us boys here felt the same way about that. And I think I think it's a testament to our success, and I think we did. It was certainly different, right? It was cut a couple weeks short. We had to have double dual meets on certain weeks. Certain weeks we were missing guys. Certain weeks we were missing coaches. It was just a whole bunch of what's happening this week. How can we adjust to it? I think about where I was this time last year, and if I even began to think about COVID as a thought, I think if I had to deal with all these changes, I would have curled up in a ball and cried and waited for something to happen. And now this year, it's kind of like, oh, sounds like a Tuesday, right? It's forced us to change. It's forced us to be flexible. It's forced us to think differently about how we handle situations, be it in the pool, be it in the classroom, or be it just being social, right? You guys have lost so many social opportunities this year. And yet, I feel like this is one of the most bonded teams that we've ever been a part of. And that resilience and that determination and that grit that you guys have shown through the 8, 10, 12 weeks that we had together is a life lesson that I think you'll take very far with you in your life. And I'm just honored to be able to be up here and be, a forefront for that for you guys and help you guide yourself to your success. So, like I said, I wanted to keep my remarks short because this is a night for you guys. It's a night for our seniors to come up here and say a few words, celebrate their success, and you guys hand out your team awards. But of course, we have so many different highlights here that we need to talk about. First, being a fantastic 5-2 dual meet record, right? Only losing those 2 dual meets by a combined 9 points, which is honestly 1 swim, right? And diving. We got to get those divers back. We got to bring more divers. But then again, to come around and show our depth and prove our secret weapon has always been our depth, and win 8 out of the 13 events at conference relays in dominating fashion. right? And then to turn around and in a most unforeseen conference situation, having two groups of four, right, and not even knowing what's going on at the other pool at the same time, and to be tied with Homestead, that was really the testament that I realized that our team has figured out and learned the lesson that we need to this year. That it's a matter of who can handle change the best and who's willing to make the most sacrifices in the name of their team, in the name of success, right? And we found that in so many different levels. And to be able to come up and erase a 35-point deficit against Homestead and to then win by 10 points was a huge statement, a huge statement. I think when you look at their team, you may have thought that maybe we didn't have a chance, right? They had a lot of great depth in certain events and really strong top speed, right? But through it all, it was our younger guys and our guys that are now molding the future for us that set their mark, right? And now it's going to be raising that bar year after year. And of course, we went on to sectionals and in a rousing fashion qualified 15 of our 18 individual swims for the state meet, having won, oh gosh, I can't even count at this point, the medley relay, the 200 free relay, the 400 free relay, Nick winning the 100 breaststroke, Peter winning the 50 free and the 100 free, just a plethora of sectional champions. It's a testament to, again, that hard work and that commitment, because when I think about where we were last year, and I think about the excitement that we had after taking 4th place at state, and we came off of an absolutely ridiculous 400 free relay performance. It was very easy that even after we got on the bus and made our way home or in our van and drove home, we were already talking about this year. We were already talking about the potential that we had and the opportunities that were in front of us. And to be totally honest, seniors, you were the class that I was focused on last year. Because I know, my first year here and Mallory's first year here, there was gonna be a lot of change, and it'd be hard for the seniors to, adjust to all these new things that we were bringing. I don't want to say I don't hold them to expectations, but I wouldn't have felt bad if they didn't want to change. I understand it's a different year, but I knew that you guys, right, had an opportunity to not only experience what was going to come this next year, which is this year, right, and then grab by the reins this year and lead. And you sure did. Right? We are the second best team in the entire state. So that's something that you should hold yourselves very proud of. I know I do. People say congratulations all the time and ask me how it went, and I just say I couldn't be prouder. Those boys did everything they absolutely had to do that night, and they swam with all their might, and they swam to best time performances throughout the entire night. And again, it's just showing that commitment and that drive in a time when the world says otherwise is so, so powerful. You should be so proud. And I know I'm incredibly proud of you. Obviously, a big rousing hands off to our 200 free relay state champions, the fastest relay in the state, breaking the school record, right? One that stood for 23 years. Mr. Phil Sweetlick, Nick Benia, Peter Ewell, and Peter McMahon. Give them a round of applause. Winning that race, wire to wire. Each guy pulled a little bit further ahead of the next. I don't know if you saw me, but I was crouched by the table by the starters. And I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe. I was just sitting there like, come on, let's finish this race. And as soon as Peter turned at the last 25, I knew we had it. And I was just waiting to see if we could get that record. And to see our name on that record board just is so cool, knowing how so many of those boys' records right now are from the late 80s, the early 90s. And we finally have started to build a team that's ready to crack that, right? We finally have this new generation of talent and speed that's ready to make waves and totally transform what swimming in Whitefish Bay is. And I'm so excited about the future, right? We have so much depth, we have so much potential in these years to come, and we may not place as high next year at state, and that's okay. But I sure know we're going to be there, we're going to be a loud force. And we're going to be there for years to come. So, with further ado, I do have some awards I want to give out, and I know Mallory has some awards to give out as well. I think I'm actually going to turn over to Mallory first. Let her talk about our JV squad and hand out a couple first-year JV patches. So, I think most everybody's here. I don't see a Fetzer. Fetzer. All right. Okay. No worries. So I'll give Mallory a few minutes to talk about these guys really quick, and then
Okay. All right. Well, my second year definitely went a lot better than the first year. I think I was more comfortable coaching people this age, especially boys. But you guys always make my life a lot easier, especially that week that Tom was gone. I've never been so stressed in my entire life, but everyone stepped up, especially the JV boys for me, because I couldn't be by you guys like I normally could be. I felt like I had to spread myself across the whole pool. So thank you guys for stepping up. Also, we swept the entire North Shore Conference and one JV conference. So huge rounds of applause for that one. Our only freshman this year is going to be Cooper. So congratulations, Cooper. Keeping Cooper in mind, our JV workforce is actually going to be Cooper because every day he just came in, he stepped up, he wanted to move lanes, be better, just really try hard on all the sets. And if a set could be modified, Cooper said absolutely not and would just push through every single set that I gave him. So that was awesome. So Cooper, you can come up and get your workforce award. All right. Moving on to the most improved. This person definitely put in the work for this. It was a bit of a tie for workhorse and most improved, but their hard work paid off to make them more improved than they ever were last year. Just super great hard work, great times to prove that they did improve their work and their strokes. So that's going to be Paul. All right, moving on to JV MVP. This person, honestly, one of the most interesting people at coach because I can never tell how they're actually feeling at practice. Also, the sarcasm is it makes every day so much better. So MVP, their times were out of this world, especially just the fact that some days it was kind of a struggle to get them to do the whole practice or warm down, and every day was kind of hey, are we getting out early? Are we gonna what time is it? So MVP this year is gonna go to Reese. Year 3, so I'm very excited, and I hope all of you come out again because it was a blast getting to coach you. Thank you.
All right. Obviously, I am incredibly indebted to Mallory, and I didn't do enough justice in the beginning there to thank her for all she's done this year for us, for me especially. The week I was out was easily the worst week of the year so far. Not because I felt like garbage, but because I just hated that I couldn't be here. We had 2 home meets. We had the Bulldog Invite, our 2 most, competitive meets of the year. And I was just pacing in my living room and just more making sure Mallory was set, making sure she was okay. And to watch her go up there and give off our senior recognition and run our parents' night and do it with ease. I just was so proud of her and so happy that we could have her as our JV coach and assistant coach. So we are lucky. She works tirelessly that I don't think she earns enough credit that she is due. So, Melanie, we love you. Thanks. I'm going to go ahead and hand out some awards as well. And I'm going to start out with our first year conference letter earners. That's the thing. Making conference on this team, making varsity conference is a feat. And it's one you should be incredibly proud of because where a lot of teams host a lot of top speed, right? They aren't very big. Look at Cedarburg, for instance. They were
11 guys big by the time varsity conference rolled around, but they had 4 guys that could win any 2 races they wanted, right? And to be on our team means that you are well-rounded, you have talent, you show commitment, dedication, and you show that you're a worthy adversary for years to come. And when we think about having to choose 15, 16 guys to take the conference, it's never an easy decision. We're in a position as a school where 2 or 3 guys are going to be left in a spot where I don't want them to be. They deserve to be at varsity conference. They worked hard enough for varsity conference. And that's the blessing and the curse of a sport that's run by times, right? We have to just kind of take our best foot forward, and oftentimes that's those that have the fastest times. But that's not to say that that opportunity is gone when you don't compete at varsity conference. And we had 2 boys, and one who's repeating that opportunity and one that learned of it this year that clearly showed it. And I'm going to first bring up to grab his first varsity letter is Mr. Nicholas Hall. As I mentioned to all the boys and to the parents out there as well, that while we may have swam at JV conference, Nicholas did post times in both the 200 and the 500 that would have scored on Saturday at the varsity conference meet. So he is rightly earning this varsity letter. The next one I'm going to give out. I'm going to go alphabetical. I think it's going to work out. And this guy is fun. This is Mr. Will. I'm going to talk about Will here for a second. So Will came in much like I knew Grant coming in. Quiet, little timid, little reserved, not very vocal, just here doing my thing, working out, helping the team where I can. I'm a good backstroker, I like sprinting, right? Yeah, cool. All right, well, we got you. We'll figure it out, right? And slowly as the year went on, I realized how dependable Will is. And I realized how incredible of a talent he is, even as a freshman. He quietly went about his work. Very rarely did we have many conversations or deep conversations at that. And it was more of just, hey, what's this interval on? Or, hey, Will, fix this when you're pulling through the water. But as conference started to roll around and we started to get excited about our potential and we started to get excited about our team's success, that's when I saw Will open up a lot. And to see Will and I have actual conversations and share our days with each other and feel like we can, comfortably talk to one another is really cool. I think it's awesome when you're a freshman that you can come into a culture like this and feel like you have a home and feel like you have, 24 other guys that are going to take care of you. And I think, thank you, boys, that Will and many of our freshmen learned that this year. And they are now, our rising stars that are going to be here for a long time to come. And Will, more than most of our freshmen, he's got a chance to go to state 4 years in a row. And that's incredible. Not only did he qualify for state, but went on to have an incredible swim at state, moving up from that outside smoke in lane 8 to, I believe, 13th place overall, dropping another full second. And going to time that we're going to rely on him next year, right? And we're going to keep using him going forward. So, Will, congratulations on an incredible year, and congrats on your first varsity letter. What a guy. Another one in that kind of same realm, all right, is Mr. Finn Holdridge. So I think I said this about 800 times last year. I've known Finn because I coached him on Oz prior to this. And so Finn was part of the North Shore Club before we merged here and started our site in 2018. And he stuck with us. And we're really glad he did. We lost him a little bit there for a couple months before the season started, but when we saw him come up for the swim team, we knew there's potential. And not only myself, but my other club coach, Megan, here at Oz, we both agree that Finn's one of the best swimmers, technique-wise, stroke-wise, efficiency-wise, that's out there. I mean, the kid cuts butter when he's swimming freestyle. And to see him grow and feel comfortable doing any race, whether it was the 200 free in meters at West Bend and then coming back and doing the 100 fly and like, hey, we have 3 meets left. You want to try the 500? Oh, wow, look at that. That's your best event, right? And on the fly, having to change those kind of swims, we had a little sledding accident that kind of derailed us a little bit, but the kid literally dislocated his hip and came back a week later and still swam 100 fly, 500 combo at varsity conference. That's some determination. My brain just hurts thinking about that. But to see him take on that opportunity and to see him excel as he did was really awesome. And I think for many years to come again, we're going to see Finn all over our sectionals and state teams going forward. So Finn, congrats on your first varsity life. All right. Okay, good. I'm glad I saved these two. These two boys I'm going to combo together because they are not only getting their first varsity letter, but they are both our varsity most improved. I'm sorry, I'm really stubborn and I'm indecisive. I have 2 awards for everything because I couldn't pick one person. Regardless, Jack Gunderson and Emmy So, right? These 2 hooligans just did some crazy stuff this year. Like, I don't know if they're begging practice or what they're doing, but to see the times that they dropped that conference and even Jack getting the sectionals on, honestly, swimming JV relays at first, we're like, what's going to come of this? Where are we going to go tomorrow? And to watch them succeed as they did at conference was not just cool for our team, but to see both of their times or their faces when they saw their times at the end of conference and to see that awe and to see that excitement and to feel their energy after those races and how motivated they were was what you look for as a coach. It's that moment, like as a teacher, you want that light bulb to click. And it was that moment where all that time and that commitment and that success and that commitment finally paid off, right? And they were so pumped, and I was so pumped for them. I don't think I've ever seen anybody drop who's been competitive in races drop 10 seconds in a 200 IM or 8 seconds in a 200 IM, and then turn around and drop 7 seconds in their hundreds. Like, just crazy, right? And it's just so cool to see them see that opportunity and realize their potential. And these guys are my most improved, but they're also my most crosshaired, right? You 2 boys, I got my eyes on you. Because you're going to be leading this team these next 2 years that you got. There's a lot of potential that's been untapped yet. And I hope you're ready to take it on because we're going to see you guys at that state meet very, very soon. So, can't believe I'm saying that while I'm giving you your first varsity letter, but it's a real thing. Congrats, boys. You are both earning your varsity letter, and you are the varsity most improved athlete. Okay, so in a way, I want to make that a little bit more special because that is your first varsity letter. And like I said, earning a varsity letter at WFB is really impressive. In any sport, to be honest. We are an incredibly athletic school. With that, I don't want to ignore or dismiss the rest of our swimmers here. But I know we are short on time, and I want to make sure you guys do have the floor. I want you all to know how equally important and special you are to this team. And, you know, you have made this year so much fun and exciting, and the way you guys have taken to whatever has come your way is so warming for me, and it makes me so proud that I know we're always going to be in good hands here. I can still remember being a freshman my first year and thinking about how terrified I was to join the team, to try something that felt really out of place, to just be somewhere where I was going to put my weaknesses and in the forefront. And the way my boys and my high school classmates took to me, I feel here again as well. Everybody feels a part of this team, and everybody feels like they have a place here. And I couldn't be happier to know that I get to be part of that for many years to come. And it's you guys that have done that. So I thank you. I appreciate it so much. I have 2 final awards I want to give out really quick. Obviously, the varsity workhorse. This again is somebody or 2 people that, again, it takes a lot of flexibility to adjust to training styles, especially when you come from a different club, right? And especially when you're not used to the intensity or the brevity that some of our practices bring. You know, I think about when the boys were all freaking out. You guys were freaking out about 200 on 215 last year, and I'm like, getting ready for this season. I'm like laughing to myself, like that's nothing, right? And we handled it well, right? This year asked our training to be a lot different. I wasn't planning on having COVID coming around and making us swim 2 dual meets a week and changing how we train every single week, but you handled it well. And there's 2 boys that I think about that it's really humbling for me to see them succeed. Not to put one in front of the other, but one of them being a senior who I am so happy to see succeed as he did at that state meet. Not because, I don't even know how to say it. It was just one of those things where I've seen this kid grow up and I've seen him work so hard in so many different facets. And to see it pay off so well was really cool. I just wasn't sure if it was always going to be there because we had a great state meet last year, but it wasn't, I think, what either of us wanted. And to be able to get a significant jump in results and to see the progress come through was really cool for me, and especially to get on the podium. So one of my first workhorses is Mr. Andrew Hall. And the second one, this other guy, a little bit younger, but still a whole lot of potential going forward. I think you'll all agree when I say his name alone that you'll get it. This kid has 1 speed. There's only 1 speed, right? And it's go hard, and it's go harder, and just keep going. And I'll tell you, watching Ben Ernster train on a daily basis is an enigma. And that's the best way I can call it, right? Ben, lengthen out your stroke. No, don't take 3 more strokes for 25. Go longer, take less strokes. Ben, go easy on this cool down. No, don't hold 28s right now. That was yesterday, right? But maybe Ben knew something that I didn't know, right? Because here we are holding 525s all year in the 500, holding the 105 base, and then we end up going 505 at the state meet, right? And to see him go through that, and last year only earned 1 swim at sectionals last year, and to not qualify for state, to swimming 2 races at sectionals, to qualifying both at the state meet. That was just a really, really cool moment to see that progress. I think for me, for him, and for our whole entire team to have him as a great distance guru this year. So, Mr. Ben Ernster, come get your award. All right. Woo. Okay. And my MVPs, right? I know it's most valuable player, right? MVS, not most valuable swimmer, right? But there has to be 2 sometimes. And most valuable is a term that can be taken many different ways, right? It could be somebody that's amazing outside the pool. It could be somebody that has incredible talent in the water, right? And I look at 2 different individuals that possess both. And that's why I made it so hard for me to choose just one, because in honesty, I have 7 seniors in front of me that all deserve it, right? And in reality, I have 24 swimmers here in front of me that deserve it too. But 2 stood out to me, and not because of what they're able to do in the pool, but who they are as people. And to see them take this team to the level that we were able to this year started last year, and I felt like these 2 knew that. And they carried through on that throughout this entire calendar year, and especially in these last 6 weeks that we've had together. It's taken a lot of bravery, it's taken a lot of courage, it's taken a lot of, flexibility more than anything. And the charismatic and carefree attitude that they both come with to the pool and make practice a joy for myself, for Mallory, for those around them, and the caring attitudes they have when our pool breaks down the day before we go to state and we have to go give rides, and they're willingly doing that. And they're, just able to help coordinate and direct as we need to. It was really cool to see that. And I just, like I said, I have 7 people in front of me as seniors that I think are all deserving of this award in their own right. But looking at these 2 state performances alone, looking at who they've been all entire season, and the way they've stepped up in their unique races and their abilities in the water, I have to give the most valuable swimmers of the year this year to Mr. Peter McMahon and Mr. Nick India. All right. I would like to have another hour and a half to talk about each of these seniors individually. So if we have some time at the end, I will come back to them. But I do want them to have a chance to have the floor. We have some senior gifts for them, to give them a chance to have a speech. But I know we have plenty of gifts to go around first. So I'm thinking that's probably what we want to do next. Yeah? All right, let's do it. Oh, just kidding. Not yet. I want to end with this one. There have been a few people that we don't see on a daily basis. Some of you do, but most of us don't, that have really carried this team in ways that we are indebted, right? All of your parents have been incredible and helped out and donated and made sure that you guys are successful, whether it's getting to practice on time, making sure you have enough food, you're staying dry and warm when you're walking home in this winter cold. But I really do need to take a moment and recognize Tammy and Nia and Julie McMahon. I hope you guys are watching. Our constant communication throughout these weeks, their coordination for getting our team dinners to you guys on the to-go and the Rocky Rococos, making these incredible banners, getting our state banners, helping us plan activities that we needed to plan. They have been there through and through. And Tammy, I know you said you didn't want to be called out, but I'd be remiss if I didn't. So thank you, ladies. Thank you to all our parents for all you've done this year. You have made our lives so much easier in a year where everything's changing every day. This was about as normal as I think we could have gotten, and it was to you guys. So thank you so much, and boys, it's your show.
We'll do that and then. Yeah.
Make sure you're talking to the mic, because that's multiple in it.
Give us a moment, we're setting up our gag here.
Okay, so why don't we're gonna get started with some gag gifts. And you know, it's a big tradition that we have every year. And the seniors, I can tell you, we put a lot of thought into it. We did not just go out and buy everything last weekend. I promise you that didn't happen. But this first award goes to a kid with an interesting selection of backpacks. I think you probably mostly know where I'm going with this. Sophomore year showed up every day with a solid 50-liter like army bag. Every day. This year, that was a camping bag. So Carson, you already know, but we got you another backpack to spice up your collection with. There you go. Enjoy that.
All right, I know what you're doing. A little bit. Okay, this next one, he's very charismatic and very energetic and very just e-time. So we got some fun to, because he's always out.
All right, so the next swimmer, I think he might have gotten the workhorse award last year, but every day during practice, I always notice he's always working hard. He always looks very, very tired, especially during the meets. When he does fly or when he does free, it doesn't always look pretty, but it always gets the job done. But at the end of the year, it finally started looking really good, and he obviously could show in his time winning the conference title in the 500.
at JV conference, that is Brian. You get a course for being exact.
Alright, so this is a little plastic bug. I think it's a wasp. And there's one kid that just comes up to practice and he's got these huge goggles. And they just look like a bug. So Ben Plum, this is for you. It's not uncommon for a lot of swimmers to do two athletes. One of us has been inducted into the Honorable Wave 1 because he is also a football player and also a freshman, right? So Cooper. Hey, commemorate your service to a football team.
So, I got a year, and this one's for Zoe. You guys ever remember when we showed on in varsity conference relay? When I see Zoe's leg, he caught himself. So I wish he should better next year.
All right, first off, on a little more of a serious note, I'm really proud of this kid for what he's accomplished this entire season. But he never stops. Never. And I know Tom already used this in his little spiel, but Ben Ernster, I got you. Pack of batteries in case you ever run out of energy. So here you go. If you ever need to recharge, just take it home.
Alright, this next award was meant for two individuals, and sadly they aren't here. But it's quite ironic because it works pretty well. Our two fencers on the team. Quite often we say practice starts at 4. And then sometimes they'd roll in at like 4:15. Maybe it was 4:30. At the worst, it was 4:45. But hey, it's okay. So ironically, though they're not here, we got the fencers a calendar so they can actually schedule our 4 o'clock practice. So if I see them, I'll give it to them.
All right, so next off, I know when I go off next year to college, my parents are really gonna miss me, but I have a solution. All right, so the next individual, I wasn't completely aware of this, but all the seniors really emphasize that the next individual has a lot of similarities to me. So first off, the way we walk, we both like help out our chests. Also, we have a big sense of humor. Mallory alluded to this when introducing this next individual during her speech, but a big sense of humor, likes to make a lot of sarcastic jokes. So for this individual, we have a certificate of adoption into the Hall family to replace me next year. This is Tariq.
Alright, this is the grader. And I gave this kid a tech suit for him to wear during conference, and he gave me the most genuine, respectful response I've ever received. And he's very grateful. So Amy, this is for you.
So, as we noticed, whenever we saw this guy in the pool, he always moved his hat when he swam. He moved it a lot, and he's always bubble when he's racing. And here's this award is to Paul. He's not moving a lot when he's
Tom alluded to it earlier, but one of our swimmers had an accident, right? On a sledding hill. We wanted to make sure he would never hurt himself again on the sledding hill, right? So then we want to make sure you protect yourself by giving you this awesome Lego helmet. I'd like to request that you try to put it on.
My last gift, this goes to a kid who absolutely killed it at conference this year. I was probably more happy for his race than he was right before I swam. So Jack Gunderson, I know you swam JV the whole year and then you made conference, then you made sectionals, and you swam lights out at sectionals as well. So we got you the shirt that aptly describes what you did this year. And just killed it. So there you go.
All right, so as Nick alluded to with the Fetzer Award, the calendar, practice starts at 4 p.m. every day. So I have this clock here, and it is set to 4 p.m. And there's this one kid who really needs it. Because consistently, even to state week, he would pull up to practice at least 4 minutes late. So Peter, you'll keep this on your bedside and you'll know when to come to practice.
All right. This next swimmer, he's my new best friend. But that was a joke, I'm kidding. So whenever I see this swimmer, hey, how's it going? Good. How was school today? Good. Wasn't that set really hard? Yeah, it was fine. So I can never read this guy's emotions. Is he happy? Is he mad? Is he sad? I don't know. The world will never know. So, Mr. Grant Anderson, I gave you happy face, sad face.
So as Tom said, there's a lot of quiet kids in this team. So the award I'm getting is to one of the quietest kids I know, because whenever I ask him, he speaks, I can just never hear it. And I got him a microphone, so this is for Logan.
All right, as all the seniors know, and I'm assuming some of the parents, there is this one award that comes around every 4 years, and it's a special connection between a senior and a freshman. Nick received it from Adam his freshman year, and I have received it to give it to my favorite freshman, even though I never felt like the feeling was reciprocated to me. But she was my favorite freshman, so Will Antonelli.
All right, this award is a big personal step for me. It's pretty hard for me, and my parents know this, but it's hard to give my brother a lot of encouragement. Congratulate him for success. He's a pretty successful guy. He's a big runner, very good student. But I like to tease him a lot, like to make fun of him a lot. And so he doesn't get a whole lot of congratulations from me. But anyways, at JV conference, this is his first year swimming. I never really expected him to do anything. I was like, he'll probably be like over 7 minutes, 500. He can swim. He'll get across the pool. He'll get some points for the JV team. But at JV conference, he really surprised me. He got 3 first place finishes, 2 relays, 1 individual, and then a second place finish. And then the next day, I had a good meet. I got 5th in the back, 3rd in the fly, I think 2nd in a relay, 1st in a relay. And so Phil and the other seniors were like, wow, looks like your brother is a whole lot more successful than you. He's the #1 haul, and he's going to maintain that award forever. So, Nicholas, we have, much to my chagrin, not on me. This is all them. But a #1 haul trophy for you.
But if you have one of the returning gifts from last year, please bring them up and give them to somebody new. Really?
Oh, it's over.
No, Ben's got it.
No, boys.
Use both microphones. Use the phone. The other one I just got. I'm joking.
Okay, so this one is the STEM award. It's for the best looking freshman swimmer. And I give this to Finn Wilson.
Hey!
So this one is the best freshman of the year award. Basically, a person who went above and beyond their freshman year. And I give this award to Will and Nelly.
So, we got the extreme goal, which is the best kind of award for the person with the best kind of energy. And adding on to Andrew, I gotta give this to the person who beat me by 0.1 seconds because it's a must. Nicholas Hall.
Yeah.
So the long distance swimmer award is given to an individual who has gone a very long distance, whether that be literally through swimming the 500, 200, just got off the weights, or more in the sense that they've grown lots of swim, going from very little experience to being this incredible swimmer. So I guess to pile on, I'm giving this award to Nicholas Hall.
Andrew, good job. All right. All right, well, we will transition on then, and we will move to giving our seniors a chance. Again, boys, I appreciate you greatly for not only taking on the last 2 years of your college life, or excuse me, high school life before you head to college, and having to make major adjustments from Mr. Davis to myself, and the way you've taken to our team and you've taken to me and Mallory as coaches is undeniably one of the greatest things I've been able to experience so far. So I appreciate you all, and I'd love to give you a chance to say a few words. So we want to come up alphabetically. Want to go that? Or yes, does anyone want to go first? You want to talk, Ethan? All right, Ethan's coming on up. All right.
Thank you, Mallory, and thank you, Tom, for the rest of your life. Thank you, Coach Davis, for you do everything. I'm sorry I'm someone doing everything, but I want to take it back to you. Tom, thank you for my life, and for Mallory, thank you for everything you do. Thank you, Payback Man, for the piece of our cooker. So thank you to all. God bless you all.
I really don't know if I can follow that up. That was the heck of a speech right there. But swimming for me, it gets a bit, I don't want to say nostalgic because I'm only 18.
or 17, but yeah. But as I look back my freshman year, now that I come to think about it, I had very bad social anxiety. I was not good around other people. I was not good around my teachers, not good around coaches, literally nobody except for the swim team. That was it. I'm not the confident individual that you see me as today. I'm not the swim captain that you guys voted me as, or I wasn't. And swimming really gave me that opportunity to expand my horizons. And it really gave me the confidence, more so than anything else. Like, I don't care if I have a 4.2 GPA. I don't care about that. Swimming gave me the confidence to interact with other people. And it's something that I more or less recently just came to think about as I reflected about all my time in high school. And I want to especially thank my family for always being there for me. Tom and Mallory, you guys have been great. You guys believed in me, especially this year when I didn't believe in myself. There was a bit of a rough patch halfway through the season that I was down. I was down and out. And Tom never gave up hope in me. And that led to a 102 100 breaststroke at state, something that I'm very proud of that I have accomplished this season. So that's really all I had to say. I want to thank you guys for voting me as a captain and trusting me to lead the team throughout all the success that we've had this year. I'm proud of each and every one of you, and you guys have inspired me more than a lot of other people could. So thank you.
All right, so just about high school swimming in general. High school swimming is just the best kind of. It's just the combination of competitive